So this story about California student athletes could be paid in a few years with Governor Gavin Newsom passing the Fair Pay and Play Act. Fox reporter Todd Pyro, he reports the National Collegiate Athletic Association. They're not happy about this.
College athletes would have the right, beginning in 2023, to profit from the use of their name, image, and likeness. Here's California Governor Gavin Newsom.
It's going to change college sports for the better by having now the interests, finally, of the athletes on par with the interests of the institutions. Now we're rebalancing that power range.
But not everyone is on board, including the N.C.A.A., which issued the following quote. Unfortunately, this new law already is creating confusion for current and future student athletes, coaches, administrators, and campuses, not just in California. We will consider next steps in California while our members move forward.
There you go. Now, states like New York, Florida, Colorado, South Carolina, they're also considering the very same kind of legislation.
I don't understand why this is a priority for California, why this was a priority with the governor, given all their bigger issues to deal with as far as their economy overall and everything else that they deal with.
Well, if they got student athletes making millions of dollars, they'd be able to collect taxes.
You know, and there's nothing, and I don't. What kind of numbers would we be dealing with here if they get paid? If the star quarterback can cash in while he's in college playing for the Longhorns, what kind of money is possible? I wonder. Are we talking about millions?
Yeah.
Because you know how many 18, 19-year-olds out there are ready to have millions of dollars and do great things with it. You know, it can screw up a life big time.
You're saying that these adults shouldn't make any money because they may screw up their life?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in the past, if they wanted to make money.
That's exactly what you just said, Rudy. Rudy Giuliani, that's exactly what you just said. 18-year-olds that get a bunch of money screw up their lives.
I didn't say it does every time. I said it can. It's going to cloud the sports so much on the college level. If this happens, it's going to cause more problems than it's going to be worth it. I understand the concept. I understand why people would think this should be. I got that. I think it's a bad idea. And again, if you do want to make money as an adult, then go do something where you can make money then. If that's an issue while you're playing football or baseball, then maybe you shouldn't be there.
Johnny is downtown on the Todd and Don Show. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. You know, Don, I think you're 100% right on this deal. It's just it's our old school way of thinking, but I think you're right. And Todd, I do think if you give an 18-year-old millions of dollars, 95% of them would blow it in 6 months. The education would be off the board. I think there's no doubt. I've always said a job is much more than a paycheck, and I've said an education is much more than a degree. And when you start paying these guys, it just muddies up the water. There's something to say about working hard, being poor, going through school, doing what you have to do. Get your degree where it's a struggle.
Johnny, what gives you the right? What gives you the right in a free country to tell another man he can't make money?
If he wants to make money, it shouldn't be from the colleges. Then go get a job at the college.
They wouldn't be making it from the colleges. They wouldn't be making it from the colleges at all. This would be endorsement deals. This would be Covert Chevrolet paying the quarterback of the Longhorns a little bit of cash to do a TV commercial or a radio commercial. That's what that would be. It wouldn't come out of the university's paycheck.
Tom, I'm looking just basically on principle, really. I mean, I understand your
I am
logic
too.
here.
I am too. I believe in a free society, and adults should be able to make money.
By God.
I disagree.
Okay, you disagree. You say adults shouldn't be able to make money.
I disagree with this. I disagree with this particular set of circumstances. I don't think college players should be.
I know, and I agree. You and Don are on the same page on this. But tell me why you think it would be bad. How would it destroy the game?
Right now, we have everybody on the same playing field.
Right.
No one gets paid. Everybody comes in as a group. They play football. People go see it. People have a good time. Now you start bringing money into the mix here. Then you got all-stars at one college, and you know what I mean, UT can, if that's the case, UT is going to draw, the recruit's going to be much more for UT than it would be for U of H in Houston because they're a bigger school, more money. I mean, it takes the innocence out of football.
It does.
I agree. I agree. It does. I agree.
That's one of the things that's so appealing about college sports, because those kids and it's about the kids. It's always about the kids.
Oh, I agree. It would take the
heart, they got
sports.
speed.
There would be some universities that have all of the very best athletes, the biggest contracts, if you will, the biggest endorsements. California schools would, have athletes that make millions of dollars. I agree. It would taint and destroy collegiate sports.
Dirty it.
But I have a hard time telling an adult not to make money.
I understand that way of thinking, but with college sports, it's the kids are out there because they want to play the sport. It's for the love of the sport. It's all about competition.
At some points, the N.C.A.A., the University of Texas, and other universities are going to be sued because of CTE.
This is going to really...
brain injuries.
Oh, my God.
And they're going to say, well, yeah, we're suing you because I got a brain injury playing football for the Longhorns, and I didn't get a paycheck. I got no health insurance. I need somebody to help take care of me for the rest of my life.
Probably shouldn't be playing football. Probably shouldn't have made that decision to play football.
Maybe you're right.
That's one of the risks you assume there.
Maybe you're right.
It's going to dirty it.
Why should an adult assume that kind of a risk with no financial reward?
Again, what they've done in the past, if you are concerned about that, kids decided, I'm not going to go that direction. I'm not going to do that because I might get hurt. If you do that, then you have to go, you might get hurt. You got to assume that might happen.
I think we need to stop calling them student athletes as well.
What should we call them?
Athletes.
Okay, fine.
Period. Let's see here. JJ on Far West, good morning.
Good morning. Interesting discussion, guys. If college athletes are allowed to make money now off of their name or their likeness, it seems like they're opening a Pandora's box to lawsuits from student athletes filed against universities for making money off their name or their likeness. How do you get to a point where the university's selling jerseys in their spirit shop or whatever, and the college player says, well, you're making money off of my name, I should be allowed to have some of that too?
Yeah, that's exactly how this story came about. That's why it's an issue in California. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of athletes. The big ones, this actually was spurred by a college athlete that I think went on to play a couple of years in the pros of football, but his friends, kids, spotted his image in a video game being used by the N.C.A.A., some sort of video game, football game.
Yeah.
And he wasn't playing in the NFL anymore, wasn't playing in college sports anymore,
yeah.
But yet the N.C.A.A. was still making money off his likeliness by licensing out that video game.
I understand the frustration there. Yeah.
Jackson in South Austin, good morning.
Hey, guys. Listen, I agree with both of you guys. First of all, the University of Texas makes hundreds of millions of dollars off of these kids, and a lot of those kids won't even graduate, and once they get done playing at University of Texas will be thrown in the garbage once they don't make it to the pros, and the university still gets to pocket that money. So I have a problem. It is very inequitable. But, however, I can tell you that I played college football. I was a good college football player. I was on a video game myself, and I'd play with myself all the time. We'd lose, but whatever. That's beside the point. But I played at a school that didn't produce the revenue that the University of Texas produces. And so how can you be equitable? How can, even though I was a good football player, my school wasn't making the revenue that University of Texas was. And not only that, if you're in the University of Texas and you're a starter, like quarterback, like you said, Todd, how do you pay him as opposed to the guy who just runs down on kickoffs? How are those two?
Well, how do we do it? How do we do it in the real world, in the world of capitalism? The stars get paid more.
What about
that's
the kids
life?
What about the kids that go to SMU who doesn't make revenue that University of Texas? What do you do about that kid?
Yeah, well, how about the kid that works at the Piggly Wiggly, the little convenience store, as opposed to the kid that works at HEB making more money? But my point is, you can't use that in a capitalistic world in an argument.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I think they should be compensated. I think it's a sick system that we got where where people are making money hand over foot off of people who, a lot of the cases, are going to be thrown in the trash once they've been used. I agree. I just think it's hard to implement is all I'm saying.
I agree 100%. And then what about the students who are not athletes that work in the science lab
Yeah.
that create some sort of breakthrough medical thing, and the university makes a fortune off that patent. Should that
Exactly.
research student make money as well? I think they should.
Well,
I think they should. I think they should too. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
all right,
Jackson.
and I think an earlier caller kind of pointed to this. What as far as potential lawsuits, and maybe this was the example he was painting, I'm not sure. But what if Earl Campbell, for example, this becomes the reality where college students are getting paid, and Earl Campbell goes, wait a minute, when I was playing, they made a fortune off of me. They still make a fortune off of me. Hey, I'm going to sue.
Oh, at the University of Texas is making money off of the image of Earl Campbell. He should be paid. Absolutely.
But I'm talking about back in the day when he was playing on the team.
Yeah.
Now maybe that's a stretch, but okay, what about Westlake High School? They make money off their football program. It's a big deal, man.
Well, that's
it's a big deal.
That's we're talking about minors, juveniles now.
I don't care. They're kids.
Yeah.
You're telling somebody that. You're saying that how can you tell somebody they can't make money?
Yeah, okay.
I know that's a stretch.
You don't want to pay high school athletes, do you?
Of course I don't.
Well,
I don't want to pay college athletes either.
Well, you're trying to make the argument.
No, I'm just saying that where does it end? I'm doing the slippery slope thing, which can be stupid.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right, jump in here at 512-836-0590. Jay is in Leander. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I never thought I'd agree with Gavin Newsom or the state of California, but I got to say I agree with this wholeheartedly. These colleges, they use and abuse these kids. They admit them when their grades are so far below the average GPA of the other kids that have to get in the real way. They give them basket weaving majors so they can maintain a good GPA. 95% of them don't go on to professional sports. So all that has happened is you've let somebody in, you've given them a useless major most of the time, you've used them to make a bunch of money, then you graduate them, and what do they get out of it?
Yeah, they get abandoned. Yeah, I got what you're saying. Yeah, it's.
What about the bench warmers that never set foot on the field?
They
Do
don't
they get paid as well?
No. Why would they?
Why? They're there. They're ready to go.
This is only endorsement deals. And if that kicker is not
only endorsement?
Yes, that's
only endorsement?
Yeah, the story is not the university paying them a salary.
No.
The story is about endorsement deals, making money off the likeliness of them. Maybe making an Adidas deal, making a deal with the covert dealership or something like that. Or if they're selling a bunch of jerseys with a particular number on it, then that athlete would make money.
Yeah.
Well, I think it does open up a host of problems as far as ill will, bad feelings about each other. I think it's going to be a hard thing as far as the team concept. I think it's going to be team players. I think there's going to be a lot of division among the team if somebody is making more money than the other one. It's going to become professional sports, just like anything else.
Sure,
it's going to be dirty, man. It's really not.
Yeah.
It would not be the same experience watching.
It'd be business.
Watching Ellinger, knowing that, he's getting $1 million from Reebok or whatever. It would have a really bad feeling. It really would.
You would feel different if he was throwing 10 touchdowns a game.
I don't know. Again,
I agree with you. It will totally suck away that feel of a collegiate sport, the beauty of being a team player and being on a team. It totally would.
It's all about the sport.
Yeah.
Period.
Is it? Is college football all about the sport?
I'm talking about for the kids.
I'm talking about today.
The kids.
Is it really all about the sport and being on a team? Is it really?
For the kids.
If that's true, then the tickets would be free at the stadium.
No, I'm talking about for the kids themselves. They don't get in. They don't want to play for the Longhorns or the Rice Owls or whoever. I don't know why I chose Rice Owls.
I don't know why anybody.
For the love of God, I have no idea. But anyway, they're not. They don't get in it for the money. It's I'm playing for the Longhorns. That's incredible.
Sure.
And maybe I'll be good enough to go pro. But right now, this is incredible.
The university's in it for the money, though.
Of course they are.
The N.C.A.A's in for it the money. ABC, NBC, the TNT networks, they're in it for the money. Everybody's in it for the money except the adult 18-year-olds that are on the field.
And I know. But I'm thinking about, okay, now what will this do to the heads in the heads of the high school football players, for example, just picking that sport? What will it do with their heads thinking, wow, I could go to UT and make some money? I could get an endorsement deal. Is that good for the high school player to have that in his head?
Well, isn't the whole long game agenda to be able to have a career and make money and support yourself?
Yes,
when does that begin?
Course, but
when does that begin?
I don't think that's
when does that begin?
When you get your first bill.
Gotcha.
For whatever that is.
So they can make no money until they get their first bill.
Mine was Columbia House, which I never paid.
Joe in Georgetown. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
I don't think these kids should get paid to play college ball. If you're gonna get paid, then if you're good enough, you can skip by and go into being a professional athlete. Because if you get paid for something, you're considered a professional, not an amateur.
Well, that's what's happening exactly with the NBA. There's you don't have to go to college to play in the NBA. Right. You do have to go to college and play football to play in the NFL. And that's part of that's a wrinkle in the story too.
Yeah.
You can go straight from high school and play NFL football.
Not really.
That's what they do with some of these foreigners.
No, not really. That's incredibly rare. It's not like the NBA. I got what you're saying. 9:20 here on the Todd and Don Show. Tom and Luling, good morning.
Hey guys, good morning.
Hi.
I just wanted to put my logic in on this conversation because I think the reason that the college players haven't been able to get paid to this date is that they look at it as this will create a lot of different levels of players spread out over a lot of different teams. And in these games where you have some sponsored athletes against some no-name teams, there'd be a lot more injuries. So in order to reduce those injuries, they would have to create separate leagues where the sponsor teams would go into one league and the lower paid program leagues would be in another league, and there would be less fairness in the competition because you'd have your rich schools and then you'd have your poor schools, and they wouldn't play each other.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. Those things would happen. Basically, the collegiate level of sports would become what's happening in the real world when it comes to the workplace.
Yeah.
Dell has they pay, maybe not Dell. Some high tech companies pay their employees better than other high tech companies because they have better employees.
Yeah.
Better results.
And I think that it just takes away from the fairness of the competition and
Absolutely.
the overall quality of watching the game.
Yes, it would totally destroy the game of collegiate sports. However, it is a much more fair way to treat adult men and women who are performing and want to get paid.
And I'm not surprised that it looks like it's going to slowly start heading this direction. But I was just thinking back on the days of going to a Longhorn football game when I was a kid, when my dad was hosting the Darrell Royal football show, and we would go, and it was zero corporate. There was no corporate. There was no corporation affiliation whatsoever. The uniforms, there weren't endorsement deals with Reebok. They would buy them through Rooster Andrews Sporting Goods down the street.
Oh, so Rooster made money off of it.
Well, Rooster made money off of it. Yeah, I got it. But it was just 100% pure. Going to a game now, it's such a corporate assault on your senses, man. You are bombarded with
Why is it it's the only business, the only thing we do with adults and don't get paid? It's not like that in the music industry. If you're 18 and you play an instrument, you get paid when you work at the bar.
Well,
right?
Yes, and I can understand. The more corporate it gets, the more difficult this argument is going to be.
And it's full on corporate.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, right down to the shoelaces.
Why should just the universities make the money?
I understand. I understand the argument. I'm just saying I don't like it.
Yeah,
it's not a good way to go. But I think it might be inevitable. And as we know, if they're doing it in California, get ready. It's going to spread all the way across the country.
Barry and Bastrop, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. I was just thinking about this. Okay, if they get paid for endorsements, then they should have to pay for the college, and that opens up another scholarship for one of those guys that aren't as good as he is.
There you go. That sounds good. That's a fair trade. If you're getting an endorsement from whatever car dealership as you're a college athlete, then that chips away at your free college ride. I'm cool with that. Sure.
It seems smart to me because, I mean, what about the guys that block for those guys that are making millions of dollars?
Yeah,
I got the lineman or something like that. They don't get the recognition as a quarterback or a running back. But the thing about it is they do have the scholarship.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying, Barry.
Yeah. And if you're making a ton of money playing for UT football or whatever college, What's going to be the incentive to go ahead and go to class as well? Hell, I'm making millions already. What's the point?
They don't
man?
go to class now.
Well,
what are you talking about?
I know it's. I had a conversation the other night with the mother of a player at UT, and I asked her that. I said, "How do they balance? How do they balance that? Because just being a football player for the University of Texas is got to be a full-time job. How do they ever balance that?" And her answer was just simply, "Well, they do. Well, they do." That's about all she wanted to say about it.
William on I-35, good morning.
Morning.
Yes, sir.
I'm just wondering if colleges start paying athletes, we're going to see kids like even in high school starting to neglect their studies because they think if they get good enough at football, they can just start getting paid in college.
Well, the thing is, at the high school level, you gotta pass to play. You gotta make the grades to play. That's how they keep that in check. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty interesting. This will probably turn into a race issue.
Then add that to it. Oh man, I hadn't even thought of that yet. Mm-hmm. I should have thought of that. Or why did it take us so long to get to that?
Well, it's usually got to get to that at some point,
yeah,
doesn't it? That's what we do in this country.
We had to work through some other things first, and there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, now the race issue.
Jump in here, 512-836-0590.
Oh, man.
Toll free, 877-590-5525. Are you thinking about selling your home and you want to sell it fast? Well, of course, you need to reach out to our friend Chris Waters. He's the broker and owner of Waters International Realty, and he could get you a guaranteed offer within 72 hours. I was at his office not too long ago, and he showed me the database of more than 16,000 potential buyers that were actively looking to buy a home today, and he was in the process, had a team working in the process of matching them up with people that are looking to sell their home. And it's pretty interesting. You should reach out to Chris today if you're looking to sell your home. He could sell it fast and typically for more money.
Yeah, Joseph and Rose, they lived at 1632 Trita Trail, and they were super nervous about selling. There were 3 other similar homes for sale on the same street. Well, their home sold, and the other 3 for sale signs, well, those are still up. That's thanks to Chris Waters. In fact, the home sold in just 18 days. You can be assured all the neighbors in that neighborhood are calling Chris Waters now.
Yeah, call him at 649-4000. That's 649-4000. The website is ChristopherWaters.com. And start packing.